Okay, today we'll see Java 5 features or features of Java 5. Okay, see, Java has went on getting evolved. Okay, means actually the first version of Java was released somewhere in 1995. Then 1990, then came when they released. Actually, it was called as 1.0. Then 1.1 came, 1.2 came. Like that, many versions are gone getting added. Okay, so now whenever a new version is added, you should not worry and panic. Okay, like okay, a new thing has come out. How will I learn and all that? Because see, the old language remains as it is. Nothing much change will be there. Some extra new features they'll add. And we developers, what we should do is, we should have the ability to update ourselves. Means adapt, get adjusted to it. Okay. So these are the different versions of Java which was released. See this. Initially Java is called as JDK 1.0, and the code name for that is called as Oak. Some nickname they give. Okay. Then J2SE. Then came J2SE. J2SE means Java 2. 2 is again a version, standard edition. Java 2 standard edition, again they called it as 1.2, and the code name for that is Oak. Okay, so then came J2SC 1.3, code name for that is Kestrel. Like this it went on. 1.4 is called as Merlin. Then here what they did, okay, they started saying 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, straight away they went with 5. Okay, and then they said J2SC 5. Again the 2 is eliminated, and from Java 6 they call it as Java Standard Edition 6 version. Finally this is how you start telling out what is Java. Okay, Java Standard Edition 7. So now, and the code name for Java 5 is Tiger, for Java 6 is Mustang, and the code name for Java 7 is Dolphin. So I'll be actually teaching you today Java 5. Okay, so now here see, in 1.0, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 hardly any changes are there. Only library was getting increased. Okay, but from Java 5 massive changes started off in the syntax itself. Okay, that is why this is a very famous or a popular interview question. What is the difference between Java 1.4 and 1.5? Okay, this is a very famous interview question. And also sometimes you get the questions as what were the new features added in Java 6, what were the new features added in Java 7. Okay, so you should know how to adjust to this questions now, because as Java goes on getting what is that? They go on adding features, more versions will be released, and hardly there will be, means you don't have to worry that you have to learn everything from the scratch here. Only what they added newly, only that they have to add, only that you have to learn now. So the thing is, see, I'll teach you what was the difference between 1.4 and 1.5 now. Okay, once you know these two changes, or tomorrow if you want to learn Java 6 or the new features of Java 6 or difference between Java 5 and Java 6, that also you can adjust. At the same time, if they ask you what is the difference between Java 6 and Java 7, you should be able to tell now. So just I'll give you on platform now how there will be a difference between one version and another version. So for this, see this, J2SE is known as what? Java 5, or also known as Tiger. That's the nickname. So these 7 features were added in Java 5. There are 7 new features added in Java 5. But apart from that, okay, apart from those 7 features, means this is change in the language only. This will be change in syntax of the language. So means you should know, feature means it is the change in syntax of the language. Apart from that, they added some new library also. Library means what? Some built-in classes they provided, like string builder, formatter, scanner, priority queue, and they'll keep it in they'll organize it. Some packages they'll store it. Okay, like that, plenty of classes they'll give. So anyway, see what I have covered for you till now. These 3 are related to collections. Which one? Generics, auto-parsing, and advanced enhanced for loop was actually released to support collections. And this I taught you when I was teaching you collections only. All these 3, generics also I covered, auto-boxing also I covered, enhanced for loop also I covered. Var-args was used for simplifying what? Overloading. Simplifying method overloading. Var-args was introduced. Then yeah. So this we have covered this 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4 we have covered. Apart from that I covered this also. So pending 3 things are now present. Which are they? Static import, enumerations, annotations. Okay. So these are the only few things what you have to learn now. Rest all you have covered. So that's how we have to adjust now. So I'm talking about what is the difference between 1.4 and 1.5, or other way, what are the new features added in Java 5. Okay, so now these two we are going to cover now, enumerations and annotations. Both are the new data types added in Java 5. They are the new data types added by Java. They are data types only. So we'll be seeing that. Understood? So we will be covering now, these things now. Static import and all this. So we'll be covering now. Clear? So okay. So first I will go with static import. Then we'll come to enumerations. Okay. But annotation, see, we have covered, this I have ticked. Enumerations and static import I'll cover for you. But I cannot teach you annotations. I cannot teach you annotations right now for you. Reason is, say, annotations, first thing, there are a few reasons why I can't teach you annotations right now, okay, in this module. Because annotations can be covered only in the second module. So annotations is used for metadata programming. Understand that. It is used for metadata programming. Now, to understand what is metadata programming, first you should know what is metadata. Then you will understand what is metadata programming. That is one reason. Understood? Second reason means you should know what is metadata. And then second reason why you can't understand annotation now is, most of you don't know what is XML and how it is used. Once you know what is XML and how it is used, then you can understand annotations, because annotation is partial replacement. It is partial replacement for XML. So due to that reason we can't cover annotations. And one more reason why you don't have to worry about annotation is, it is not in SCJP. Understood? It has not been added in SCJP. Okay. So from the SCJP point of view or OCJP point of view, from the certification exam point of view, you should only worry up till these many things. So you don't have to worry annotations for SCJP. You don't have to worry about that. Clear? Shall I clear all this now? Okay. So we'll see the first one now. Which one? Static import. So once I cover static import, then we'll go with enumerations. That's not I have covered. Only two things we have to cover now. What is that? Static import and enumerations. Only two I have to cover now. So first we start off with static import. Understood? See, up till Java 1.4 there was only one import, and that import was called as normal import. We call it as normal import. See, we have used import already so many times. Okay, now why do you use normal import? Let's see that. See, supposingly I want to use a class now. This is my package now, com.cluster. I have got a package called as com.cluster, and in this I am having one class called as demo, and here I am having my public static void main method. Fine. I want to use array list now. So I want to use array list. So how do you write array list now? See, if I want, I can import it. If I want, I will say import java.util. That is one way. Or I have to go for fully qualified class name. Let's see first fully qualified class name. java.util.arraylist. A list is equal to new java.util.arraylist. This is what you say. This is how you write the code. Then you'll use it. List.add or something, you'll go on using it. That's how you use the class. Now see, you have to clearly understand how Java is organized its library. Java has got classes. Classes means Java has got logics. Logics have been kept in methods. Methods have been kept in classes. Classes have been kept in packages. This is how Java is organized. Okay. So now by default all the classes in lang package is available for the developer. You don't have to import it. But if you want to use any other class present in some other package, you have to explicitly import it. If you don't import it, you have to use fully qualified class names like this. Understood? You have to use fully qualified class names like this. But writing like this becomes a headache for the developer, because Java developer goes on to use the library extensively and he'll be using many classes, like you might use class from IO package and all that. So now when you're coding now, you can't go on writing fully qualified class names like this. It becomes too much hectic coding for us. So that is the reason Java supported you one keyword called as import. So that is the reason they gave you this keyword, import. So when you use this import, what happens? You say like this, import java dot util dot array list. Now what will happen, instead of writing fully qualified class names, you'll start saying array list, list is equal to new array list. So I'll go with simple names now. This is the benefit of import keyword. So when they give you something now, they are giving it for the benefit of the developer. Initially to learn, okay, we'll spend some time. But once you learn something now, it becomes very easy for the developer to code now. Understood? So once I use this keyword, what I'm doing now, importing the class now. Because we are coding in com.cluster package. And in cluster package, demo class, you can't access which one? Array list. So you have to import it. So once you do it, yes, you can use it now. It's not an issue. So you can also say import java.util.star also. But the recommended approach is specify the class name. Because if you go on importing classes like that, import java.io.star, okay, finally you will not know the class is coming from which package only. io.star, sql.star, so many packages are there now. Now how will you come to know which class is coming from which package? Understood? So that's the reason we go with the specific class name. Means what you want, only that you import. But if I use star, what will happen? See, the difference between these two import is, here only array list will be imported, but here all the classes in util package will be imported. So it will degrade the performance, one reason. Second reason is there will be no clarity also. So due to that reason, we never say import star. We always go with specific names. Understood? So there are a few reasons why we don't do this. And one more thing. See, because we are using Eclipse editor, we don't have to bother about importing also. Whichever class name you type, Eclipse takes care to import that. That editor is helping us. So that is the beauty if you use good editors. Understood? Anyway, the final summary is a normal import is used for importing what? A classes present in one package to be used in another package. That's it, the final summary. Yeah? So like that you'll go on importing now. If you want anything, what all packages you know now? Java dot, which package you know? IO you know, util you know, lang you know. Okay, text java dot util dot text. Util dot text dot date format, like that. Whichever one you want, you go on importing and use it. Understood? So that's how normal import works. So now let's see what is static import. You're clear with normal import now? Be clear with the basics. Automatically this new thing what they add will be easy. Understood? So how good you know the old things, that better you can understand the new things they add, because they'll be giving it for what? Better support. Clear? So now let's see the static import. See, this is the topic. This is an interview question. What is the difference between normal import and static import? So I start off explaining what is static import now. See, now I'm having one class called as, see, this is package. I'll have one package now, com.cluster. In this package, I'll have one class called as a, and I'll declare one variable, int p is equal to 5. Static int p. Static int p is equal to 5. I'll declare one variable. And also I'll have one static void show method. Yeah, you can have static members. You know that a class can have static members. Inside show something I'll print. Now, so if this is your class called as A, now let's see how to work with this class. So I will say class demo. Now how do you work with your class? Means I want to work with the members of the class. So how will you work with your members of your class? Means I want to access the static members now. To access static members, you don't have to create any object. Blindly what I'll say? SOP A dot P. If I want to call the method, directly I'll say A dot show. This is how you write. Correct? Okay. Now let's see, with the introduction of static import, what is happening. Understood? See, static import provided by Java, that's the heading. Okay. On the top I'll write the package. Package should be the first line. Remember, package should be the first line in your file, Java file. So now, see, this is how you are using it. Now with the help of the new syntax, this is the new syntax, I'll say import static. Now, till now, static keyword was used where? Inside the class. Where were you, how were you using static keyword? Or why was static keyword used? Static keyword was used for declaring members of the class. Static keyword is actually declaring members of the class. Which members? Static variable, static block, static methods. See this? So you are using the static keyword inside the class till now. But now the same static keyword is getting used where? Here. You can use it here also today along with import keyword. You can use it along with import keyword. Yes, this is valid syntax. But now it's import static com dot cluster dot a dot p. So I'll see static import is used for static members of the class. Static keyword is used. Static import is used for static import, not static keyword. Static member keyword is used for declaring static members. Now static import, what it will do? It will import static members of the class. So if I do that, no, till now you are coding like this now. So now see what I'll do. I'll not write like this. I'll directly say SOP P. I'll not miss. I'll directly use P and I'll say show. Means the static import helps you work with the static members without accessing them with class name. Static member import helps you to work with your static members without accessing them with class name. Directly you can access now. Why? Because I have imported it. Okay, not okay. Here, sorry, I can work with only P because I have still not imported what? Show. If you want to work with show also, what you will do? Import static com dot cluster dot a dot show. Both you have to import. Or one more option is you can say import static com dot cluster dot a dot star also you can say. Both are correct. Understood? So this is how it will work now. So this is static import now. Clear? So what is the difference between normal import and static import? Normal import is used for importing classes. Okay. Static import is used for importing static members of the class. Only static members of the class. Clear? So that's it about which one? Static import. And now say these two keywords are used together. That you carefully notice. For doing, see, this is a feature which they added. What is that feature they added? You can access the static members without qualifying them with class name. That is the feature they added. But how did they add it? By using the existing keywords only. Which two keywords? Import and static. They clubbed it together. Understood? That's a feature added, but this is how they are supporting it. Okay. Sorry, clear this now? So not only this, if you are interested, you can import. See, I don't have space, but just okay. See, if you want now, like not only this our classes. Now there might be a class called as integer. In integer class, there is a method called as parseInt. Okay, if you want to work with that now, you can do it now. See, I'll do this. See, generally how you work with parseInt? How do you work with parseInt? Just I need space. Yeah, I'll write it here. So this class demo, same thing. Let it be public static void main. So SOP a dot p a dot show is if you don't use static import. If you use static import, it becomes what? SOP p, and directly you can call show. Yes, this is okay. Now let's see how to work with how do you call the parseInt method. Supposingly I am having a string s is equal to 99. I want to convert this to int. So how do you do? Int x is equal to integer dot parseInt of yes. This is how you work with that. Okay, but if you use static import now, what you can do? You don't have to use it with the class name. If you use static import, let's see how you do it. Import static java dot yes, where is that thing now? It is there in the array list is there, sorry, which one? Integer class is there in lang package. So java dot lang dot integer dot parseInt. So import your static member. Which static member you want to use? Import it. Once you import it, now what will I do? Directly I can write this x is equal to parseInt of yes, that's it. No integer dot parseInt now. Understood? No integer dot parseInt. Directly you'll be calling what? ParseInt. So like this you can do static import. See how many I imported now? I imported a dot p, I imported a dot show, or you can also say what? A dot star, or you can also say parseInt. Like this you can import. Any static member you can import from your class or from built-in classes. From your class means which one? I have written this class A. From here also I can import, or from Java's built-in classes. So that's all about static import. I'll just show you with some example now. Shall I clear this? You got the difference now? Normal import and static import. Yes. See all these new features which I have added. Is there in this particular folder structure. D drive you go. Just open it once again. In D drive, you find my Ravi Kumar folder. In this core Java, Eclipse programs. Yes, here I have kept on folder called as 1.5 features. Understood? This is your workspace. So if you open this, you'll find all the examples. Yeah. So first I'll go with static import. Very simple. See this now. So there's a class called as A, which I showed you now. Now this class is there in which package? You have kept the class in com.cluster package. Fine. So then it is having two static members now. What two static members it's having? It is having one integer and it is having one show method. Fine. So that's okay. Now see, how do I call that method? Directly I'm telling on the top what I'm telling you. Import static. See here how I used? Import static com.cluster.a.p. Understood? Similarly, I'm importing import static com.cluster.a.show. Like this you can go on importing. And if I want %, same thing I'm doing. And also I'm importing members from which class? Math. Math is one class present in lang package. So there are some methods in math class. Let's see. So yes. So very simple now. See, square root is a method present in which class now? Math class. Fine. So I can directly call it, because earlier how are you writing the code? Double x is equal to math dot square root. This is how you are writing now. The return type of that method is double. So earlier this was the syntax. See, I'll write it here. Is equal to math dot square root of 625. But now we are not doing it. Reason is I am using static import. This is the earlier syntax. This is the new syntax. Okay. Then next. Yeah, P. Earlier how are you writing? A dot P. You have to access the static member with class name. But now what I am doing? Directly, because I have done static import. And this is from which class? My class here. Same as show. Directly I am calling, because I have done the static import. Look on the top always. See here. Done. Lastly I am saying a string s is equal to 99. % of yes. This is also correct. Clear this? Okay. So that's all about static import. Just see the output. How it will execute. Now it's not giving any error there. Is it giving any error? Okay, fine. No. So let's see. So as you can see, the first output, square root of 625 is 25. SOPP is 55. Some value are given here. See here, int p is how much? 55. Then show method, inside show method, that's it. Then lastly what I am printing, string s is equal to 99, value of z is 99. Simple. Done? See one more, today it has become a very famous interview question. Just see this, how I'll use. I just want to print out.println. I don't want to say system.out.println. Out is a static member of which one? Class system now. Out is a static member of what? Class system. So I can import the static member now. Import static java dot lang dot system. In system class there are many members, static members, but I want to use what? Dot. So leave all the members. I want to use out. Fine. Now fine. What I'll do? Directly, if you are interested now, you can say out dot println. There's so many methods. Println. This is also valid syntax today. I'll print hello world. So I imported out, that's a static member, and with that I'm calling what? Out dot println. Like that you can import any static member, and which static member you import, only that you can use. Understood? Clear? Means I imported out, and I see in integer class I imported only %, but there are other static members. Similarly in math class there are many static members. Okay, if you say star, you can use all the static members. If you say particular member, only that member you can use. Understood? See, this feature has been provided in Java. Now when to use this, or is it advisable to use this? See, Java is, it is good, it is very useful. But now see, here what happens is, if I start using static import, think from the real world point of view, when we code lots of lines. Understood? That time, you will not have the legibility which code is coming from, means which member is coming from which class. Till now it was very clear. You are writing string s is equal to new string s dot equals, means equals is a method in string. Okay, or something like string buffer sb is equal to new string buffer sb dot append. It's very clear now, append comes from string buffer. So everything is so clear. But suddenly if you start seeing a syntax like this, you will only not have clarity. So when you should use this? See, just because the feature is there, don't use it. Okay, like this means in a very simple manner. Generally why you should use static import is, supposingly one member, okay, it will not give you clarity now. Okay, so that's the reason what you do, one member now, example. Now many times I want to use %, method in one file. That time you import %. Otherwise for all static members you go on importing, now finally you will only not understand which member is coming from where now. Understood? Some static member now you are using consistently in everywhere. So that is when you do the static import and start using it. Otherwise it will become confusing for you only, because Java is well organized. Okay, always when you see, till now it's not like what, it was like what? Any class name dot, means either object name dot or class name dot. That is how you are accessing. But now it is not at all clear. You will start wondering, where is this method coming from? If I show you on top, it's okay, clear for you. But in a huge file where there are thousands of lines of code, can you go on every time scrolling up and checking which member is coming from where now? It will not be possible. Understood? So only which you are going to use extensively, only that you do static import. Otherwise don't do it only, not recommended. Understood? Not recommended, because you will only find trouble later. Done? Fine. So this is about static import. There's nothing much here in static import. A very simple feature which was added in Java 5. Done? Okay. So that's all about static import. Let's see some docs on this now. The static import feature provided in Java 5 allows you to import static members of a class or interface. It is allowing you to import static members. The advantage of static import is you can access the static members of a class or interface without qualifying them with class name. That's the advantage. Okay, next, what is the difference between normal import and static import? Yes, using normal import we can import only classes in a package, but using static import we'll import all static members of the class. This is a very important interview question. Difference between static import and normal import. Done. Are you clear this much? Any questions? Fine. Okay, so we completed static import now. Yes, we'll go with what? This is completed. So these three I have completed already. And I have explained to you, these three are purely, these three support are given purely for what? Support of collections only, no other reason. These three things. Varx was given for simplifying overloading. We'll go with now enumerations. So almost all we have covered everything. Okay, only annotation is pending, but as I told you, it can be learnt. It will be learnt later for you. Done. So now we'll go with enumerations. See, be clear with this. If I write only enumeration, yes, sometimes it can be also considered as what? It's an interface present in java.util package. And it's a legacy interface which was released, which was used for iteration. Understood? So if you want to iterate vector and all that, you're using that. We are not talking about that now. Okay. So just to avoid confusion for you, I'll just add one s here. Understood? So it is nothing but now what? A data type. Understood? Means don't get confused when I say enumeration. It means you should know the context on what I'm talking now. Okay. If I say enumeration in collections, it is related to that interface. If I say enumeration generally, it is a data type. So just to avoid that conflict at the beginning, I'll make it as enumerations. Understood? So enumerations is a new data type in Java, and it was introduced. It is okay. It's also known as enum. Simple words. It is known as enum. Now what is enumeration? Yes, I told you it is a new data type in Java. See, some very important points for the intro is a new data type introduced in what? Java 5. Java 5 version. Next point. This is one point. Second point. It is used to define constants. And the third point is it contains list of constants. So these 3 points are very important from the interview point of view. Other things will follow now. But in the interview, these first 3 points are very, very crucial. If you tell this, almost all half of your things are done here. Understood? So these 3 points. Next. See, first we will discuss about Java data types. See, Java is a very, very, very powerful language. And we have seen this from the beginning of the course. Okay, it's a very powerful language. Now, why Java is so powerful and successful in the market among among so many languages, why it dominates so much in programming, okay, is there are many reasons, but one of the front runner reason or the primary reason why Java is so successful in programming is because of its rich data types. Understood? Other things are there which we'll list, but the primary reason why Java is so successful in programming is Java's data types. First one, okay, in Java data types is, see, it's giving you support for 2 types of data types: primitive types as well as user defined types. I'm just broadly classifying it. Okay, and in fact you have okay, primitive types, user defined types. In primitive types you are having what? No, not that much. We'll see, like, yeah, we have got byte, short, int, long. Then you got, this is the support for what? Whole numbers. The next support you can see for real numbers, float, double. Then if you want to store a character, you got char. If you want to store a boolean value, you got boolean. So these many data types Java gave you. So these primitive types are only very rich if you compare it with other language. Like example, in C your int is having capacity of only 2 bytes, but in Java your int capacity is 4 bytes. Like that, they are very powerful, very rich. Understood? So now let's come to the support. Okay, now this is the support what I got from primitive. 8 data types. Means generally some languages give you only 3-4 data types, but this language is giving you around 8 data types, and these are sufficient for holding what? All your primitive values. Apart from this support, Java is giving you a terrific support for user defined data types also. So all languages try to do this. Okay, and they have to give the support for user defined data type. If any language is not supporting you user defined data type, it is not going to be a successful language. They have to give you a support for what? User, they have to give it, otherwise it's going to be a flop in the market. So they have to give. All languages do that. Like C gives you what? Structure, enum and all that it gives you. Understood? Similarly C++ give you, but their terminology will vary. C++ calls its data type as class, subclass, abstract class and all that. Java also gives you. Okay, how many data types? You already seen this. Java is giving you 4 data types till 1.4, till Java 1.4 version, that give you 4 data types. One is called as class, second one is called as subclass, third one is called as abstract class. So these are all data types in Java. Okay, and the last one is interface. So up till Java 1.4 you have only 4 data types. Understood? This was there till Java 1.4. Understood? And all these data types, they are given you only for one reason, for implementing hoops now. Very powerful. Means these data types, see in other languages, they give the data types for holding only values. Like in C, your structure is there. You will design it, struct student or struct employee. Your struct employee can do what now? Only hold values. Int employee ID, string name or something like that, it can hold only values. Apart from that, nothing you can write. It will not give any support for initializing these values, for using these values, nothing, no support. But Java, what does it do? It gives you this data type. Okay, class is on data type now. In C we call it as structure. But in Java, what is the data type called as? Class. So if I write in Java like this, class employee, see the support you get? You can store values, that is okay, but at the same time, string name, okay, fine. Then to initialize that, it will give you a constructor. Powerful, no? Write on constructor here, or set creator methods, or you can write methods to use your value. So that rich and powerful it is, very powerful. And on top of this powerfulness, whatever code you write, or you will write full effort and write your code. The beauty of Java is this .class files, what you generate finally, they run in any operating system. So one is the data types are very powerful, and at the same time they are platform independent. That is the reason Java gives you such powerful libraries. Understood? So you had immense support for programming. There's no doubt about it. Understood? You have the primitive types, you have the user defined types. Okay, and these user defined data types are giving you the support for implementing hoops. Very powerful, and at the same time platform independent. You write your code once, you can run it in any operating system of the world. Just you need a JVM now, that's it. So in spite of all this support, see Java people, when they released Java 5, okay, they gave you support for 2 more new data types. Means imagine, there was a need, simply they will not release the data types. Developer to these data types they are giving means for what? For the benefit of developer they are giving. For the benefit. Okay, so 2 new data types were added called as enumerations and annotations. There's a specific reason why they released this. Understood? So until unless you understand the need, then you cannot understand why they were released. Understood? You have some brilliant support here, I'm not saying no. But apart from that, it gives you this support. So now see, whenever a language is going to say, now one more thing, don't think a language which gives you too many data types is rich and powerful. Giving data type is one side. It should be next what? User friendly also. Simply I'll invent on language with around 32 data types. It will not become what? Powerful. Means any number. If I invent some language with more data types, it will not become successful. Reason is what? It should be user friendly. No, I'll go on inventing more and more data types. It's not going to be helpful to the developer. Only it should be helpful also, and at the same time it should be user friendly also. So Java is giving you these many data types. Yes, now why is enumeration given to you? Yes, the reason why they are given it is, the main reason, to define constants. This is the reason. That you understand. Understood? See, these are given for holding primitive values. These are given for holding values also, plus implementing hoops also. Yeah, which are class, subclass, abstract class, interface, they are given for holding values also, plus implementing hoops also. Now, why is an enumeration given to you? It is used for defining constants. This is used for metadata programming. So this annotations we'll see later. First I'll go with enumerations now. So enumerations, yes, that's a new data type now. And it is used for what now? Simple reason is for defining constants. So yes, if you want to write a class is a data type in Java. How do you write a class data type? Java is giving you a keyword to support that. It gives you a keyword called as class. Now how do you write a subclass in Java? Subclass is a data type. But Java is giving you which keyword to write a subclass? Class and extends. Like I write class B extends A. So I use 2 keywords to write a subclass. Now how do you write an abstract class data type? By using 2 keywords, abstract and class. Now how do you write an interface data type? By using the interface keyword. So like that, to define your data types, we end up using some keywords. Now if enumeration is a data type, they should give you some keyword now to design it. Yes, the keyword what they are given for designing enumeration is enum. So enum is one keyword now used to define what? Used to define enumerations. Enum is a keyword. If you want to write one enumeration now, I'll use the keyword called as enum now. So just I'll give you a structure of enum, how it looks. This is syntax now, or sample code. Supposingly I write enum A. This is how your enum is going to look now. Understood? Enum A. So A is a of type enum. Supposingly I write class box. Box is what? Of class data type. Box is of class data type. Now if I write enum A is of enum data type. Like that. Understood? Now class will contain some members. What all it will contain? Variables and all that. Variables, constructor, all that it will contain. Now we have to understand now what does enum contain. See, a class can contain what? Variables, static variables, instance variables, methods, all that, constructors, all that it can contain. Similarly, a subclass will contain what? Same members. It can contain what? Variables, static variables, all that. Similarly, abstract class can contain what? All these members plus extra one member. What it can contain is abstract method. Now interface can contain what member? Only two members. So that's what are these four. No doubt they are used for implementing hoops, but you should know what they can hold also, no? Yes. Now what does enum contain? That's what you have to see now. So let's see. It contains something like this. Supposing I write x, y, z. See, this is together means this is called as an enumeration now. Enumeration data type. If you want to write enumeration data type, this will be your syntax. So this is how you write, and this x, y, z what you are seeing here, they are called as constants. They are called as constants. X is on constant of type A, y is on constant of type A, z is on constant of type A now. Understood? So let's see, because this is introduction of what I gave you, we'll see more things on what is enum now. Done? Okay, that's the syntax, nothing more apart from that. Shall I clear all this now? The first reason, so to understand enum, okay, we will see at the support for, you see, the point is now enumeration is used to define constants. The point is now enumeration is used to define constants. So it doesn't mean that up till Java 5 you are unable to define constants. There was a support to define constants. There was support. But let's see what is the old support for defining constants. And now in Java 5, how they have enhanced us to give the support. That way you have to go now. Clear? So earlier to Java 4, let's see how you are defining constants. See this, supposingly there is one class called as hello now. I want to define some int constants, integer constants. So I will write public static final int x is equal to 10. This is how you define constants. If I want an integer constant. Now it is of type int, fine, then it is final. Why I made it as final? Nobody should be able to change the value, because once it is initialized, it is done. Now why did I make it as static? Because I want only one copy. I want only one copy. And yeah, I can also, one reason, I want only one copy of it. I don't want multiple copies of x, I want only one. Then public, because I want to access this member in any class, any package. So obviously when you write a constant, you end up writing public static final int, or whatever data type. Public static final is mandatory. Whatever one you want, you specify. Supposing I want one more static final variable, means one more constant of 20. So I'll write public static final int y is equal to 20. This is how we are doing it. Or double also I can say, that's my wish. But anyway, here we are defining constants of what? Primitive types. That is okay. But now we have to see how to define constants of user defined type. Now we have to see how to define constants of user defined type. See, in core Java I had kept on teaching you on class called as box. I'll use the same class box and then I'll teach you enum. Understood? So it will be very easy for you now. Supposingly see this now. I'm having on class box. Right now there are more members in this. I'll go on adding. Like I'll add variables, methods, constructors I'll add. Right now your class is not having any members, and that is valid syntax. If you compile it, it will generate what? Box.class. If I want, I can also say what? Box B is equal to new box. I can create object also, but only thing is you can't access any member. You cannot access any member because there are no members presented, but valid code. Okay, fine now. So now see, if I want to define my constant, right now, see here, this is it. Public, static, final. You have to initialize your final variables there only, then and there itself. So I'll write box B is equal to new box. There is no constructor, I cannot call it. So I'll be calling the default constructor. Perfectly valid syntax. And if I want, I can write even one more. Public, static, final, box, B1 is equal to new box. You can go on. One more. Public, static, final, box, B2 is equal to new box. And how do you use this now? Okay. It's going to be very simple. See this. How do you use this? I'll write class demo. PSVM. See how do you use this now? Hello class. See, first I'll use x. How do I use? SOP hello dot x. Valid now? I'm using primitives. But can I change the value of x? Can I write hello dot x is equal to 99? Can I change the value? Hello dot y is equal to 88, something like this. Can I change? No, I cannot modify because it is constant. I can only use it now. Similarly, let's say how do you work with your user defined types. I can use, means I can say hello dot b. I can use it, but there are no members. I'll add members, you'll understand. Okay, hello dot b I can work. Understood? Means if there is a member, I could have accessed it. Hello dot b. But can I change is equal to new box? Can I change? I cannot change the value of any of these constants. Yes or no? So this is how you define constants earlier. So for defining a constant, what was happening? You are defining a class, your user defined type, and that you are making it as a constant in another class like this. Understood? Means in hello class I am making b, b1, b2 as constants. Now let's add members now. See this. I'll add some variables. Int w h d. I need space. Yeah. So once I add members, okay, now to initialize that, what do you need? Constructor. So I'll add on constructor now. See this. And I'll write w is equal to x, h is equal to y, d is equal to z. Valid. So now how will I initialize? See, public static final box p is equal to new box of 1, 2, 3. Now it becomes very clear. Understood? Box b1 is equal to new box of 10, 20. I'm calling the constructor this time. Earlier I was calling the default constructor because there are no members. And now I can call 5, 6, 7. Highly valid code. Yes or no? Now how will you work? Yes, see this. Hello dot, I can only use b. Hello dot b dot w. Yes, I can print it. Also I can write SOP hello dot b dot h. I can work like this. Understood? But I cannot modify b. Yes, you might argue, but I can modify w. What will you do? Make them as private. That also I can't access now. If you make w as private, what will happen? You cannot change anything now. Understood? Anyway, we are not focused on w, h and d. We are more focused on b, b1, b2. How you are defining constants. Understood? That is access specifying. I don't want to access w means I'll make it as private. Don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on this public static final. So b is now, see, difference you understood. You cannot access that and modify. But this, I can access, but I cannot modify. Private, you understand the behavior now. Private means you cannot access it only. Understood? But here final means you can access, but you can not modify. You cannot modify. You cannot modify. Okay, fine. So all this is clear. And if you're interested, you can also write on method here. I'll just write on volume method, int volume. So I'll write one more member. Means your class can go on having members when any number of members it can have. And I'll return w into h into d. I'm returning it. Fine. Now see how I will call. I can call. Like this also I can work, or if I want, see, I can work like this. If I want to work with b1, I'll say hello dot b1. So that reference will be given to what now? Box z. Valid now? If I want to work with b1, hello dot b1, I'll access and that value I'll give it to z. Okay. And now I can work with z. Instead of doing it like this, I'll write SOP. If it is not private, I can say z dot w, z dot h, z dot d. All this is valid. And if I want, I can also call what? Z dot volume method. This is how you are working earlier. So how were you working before Java 5 with constants? First you'll write on class. What class you want, you'll write it. All the members you'll declare. Then next what you'll do, you'll write one more class. In this class you'll start defining your constants. And also you'll create objects and initialize it. Or later on you'll start using it. How? Like this. See, this is the syntax. If I want to work with b1, I'll do this. Tomorrow I want to work with b2. I can work with b3, anything. Which object you want? Because see, b1 is having 1, 2, 3 values. b2 is having what? 10, 20, 30 values. b3 is having 5, 6, 7 values. So with which object you want to work, you decide. Because every object is containing what? Its own set of values. Getting it now? So which object you want to work, that you decide and work. So this is how you are defining, and design means you are writing constants in Java up till 4. Understood? So what is the problem here? You have got the support, I am not saying no. You have got a good support, but the problem is, see, you have to write one class now. First you have to write what? One class called as box. This is your user defined type. Now you will write one more class for defining the constants. One class for writing your, means one class you will write for your data type. Another class you are writing for listing the constants. So hello is a class which contains what? The list of constants. So I need a separate class now to list my constants. And what are the different constants available here? B, B1, B2. And one more thing is jumbled up. Hello class is having all types of constants. It's having x and y are of type int. Again I have double. So it's jumbled up now. Okay, you are using one more class, and on top of that is this hello class is having all types of constants. I don't want like that. I want only one type of constants. Can I avoid now? Can I avoid writing x and y? No, you can write. If you write also, you will not get compilation error and you will get the output also. But sometimes you need to avoid other type of constants while defining. Means one class when you are defining, it should contain only what? Type safety I am talking. Type safety. Understood? When you define some constants in one class, I want only that particular constants now. But here it is getting jumbled up now. So the answer to all this comes out in the data type, new data type which was introduced called as enum now. So let's see, same concept, no difference. Understood? Same concept. If you understood this program, I'll be doing the same output with what? Enum now. Nothing will change. Same concept. So I'll see how I'll define the constants now. So with enum now, how you do? This is done. So let's see. So I'll write enum box B, B1, B2, B3. Now this is similar. Earlier I had written on class box now without any members. This is similar to that. You are written on enum now, and the different constants available in this enum are B, B1, B2, B3. So B, B1, B2, B3 are what? Constants. These are constants of what? Box type. Means same type. Means your constant will be of the same type. Understood? Means in which enum you are writing, it will become of the same type. If I am writing in enum box, B is of type box now. If I write enum some other class, okay. If I write enum some other class like test, and if I write xyz, now xyz is of type test. Like that it is. Understood? So fine. Now once you have written it, now how do you use it? Class demo, same thing now. So you want to work with which one now? Understood? All I'll say is box dot B1 now. Okay, first, okay, sorry, one second, I'll come to that point now. Yeah, so now see, by default all these constants are public static final now. That also you should understand now. Any constant defined in an enum is what? By default. Earlier you are taking pain to write public, static, final. Now no, nothing, everything will be implicit for you. It becomes public, static, final, all these constants. So now how do you work now? See, let's see, box z. Now what is z? Z is a variable of type box. But what is box? Enum type. Okay, so it's z is of type enum. Forget that program now. We're coming to this now. Okay, so here class z means I am declaring a variable. Declaring a variable of what? Enum type. So you can declare a variable of any type, data type. Int x, x is a data type of int. Double d, d is a data type of type double. Understood? Then if I'm having one class called as string s, if I declare s is a variable of type string class. So for all your data types you can declare variables. Similarly, box z means z is a variable of type box, but box is a enum type this time. Don't look into that now. That's a different program, this is a different program. Z is a variable of type enum. Understood? Now generally when you declare a variable, next thing what you do is you initialize it. Int x. But what is the use of x? You have to initialize now. How do you initialize? See, int x I cannot use. We give a value, x is equal to 5. Similarly, if I have my test class, test t, t is a variable of type what? Test. How do you initialize? By using new keyword. But as a class, I'll use new keyword. For this you can't use new, it'll give you error. Understood? You cannot say z is equal to new box. Means you cannot create an object of an enum. You cannot create an object of an enum. But z is a variable of type box. Z is a variable of type box, but you cannot initialize it like this. See, every variable has its own style of initialization. Like primitive type will go like this. For user defined type, which one? Class and all, you do the type of a new keyword. Now how do you initialize the enum data type? Very simple. Z is equal to give any constant value from the enum. Give any constant value from the enum. Understood? Either B1 or B2, that's your wish. Like this you give. Now Z is of type means Z is having the value of B1. So this is the only way you can initialize enum variable, no other way. The only way you can initialize the enum variable is what? By giving the value of a constant from the enum to it, no other way. You cannot use enum, this is wrong, this is valid now. So declare it and later on initialize it. Done? Okay, right now there are no members, so I cannot work with Z. But once I add members, definitely I can go on working with Z now. Done. So now, see here, in our enum, till now, we are having only what? Constants. If I am interested, I can add members now. Okay, so the beauty of enum, see now you start understanding. I will have some variables, int w, int h, int d. Yes, your enum can have what now? Members. Now if you want, you can have constructor also, int x, int y, int z. Means here what is happening is, 1 second. W is equal to x, h is equal to y, d is equal to z. And if you want, you can write your volume method. I don't have space, I'll just write it here. Int volume, return w into h into d. So this is your complete class now. Are you getting it now? Okay, I'll write the enum only properly first. Int volume, return w into h into d now. So this is your main program. Without main I am writing, just understand now. Understood? So this is how your enum looks now. So what is happening now? Apart from defining your constants, we are also telling these constants should have these members. Understood? Means your box will have now all these members. Understood? What all members your box will have? These instance variables, constructor and method like this. Okay, now see how I will work. Box.b1. Okay, so now object will be created now. Okay, but yeah, we have to give the values now. 1 second. So now, till now I was only declaring it, but now I can invoke the constructor. How you invoke the constructor? See the same syntax. B of 1, 2, 3, comma, B1 of 10, 20, 30, B2 of 5, 6, 7. Like this you can go on defining your constants. So now what exactly happens is, when B is initialized, how it will be initialized, you know? Internally it will create an object now. Internally, implicitly it will be creating object. And B will call this constructor and initialize WHT to 1, 2, 3. So B object will have values of 1, 2, 3. B1 object will have values of 10, 20, 30. B2 object will have values of 5, 6, 7. Like that you can go on defining constants now. How many ever you want, you do it now. But the beauty of this is, see, your constants are also in the same class, as well as your members of the class are also in the same class. What are members? Earlier what was happening? Your members are in one class. The constants are defined in another class. But now what is happening? Constants are in the same class. Member also are in the same place. Same place rather. Understood? So members and constants both are in the same place. That is the beauty of it. So it's just a new syntax. Apart from that, the support is same. It's just new syntax what you have to get adjusted now. Once you get the grip of this, it's very simple now again. Done? So box.b1, yes, you'll get b1 now. So now I can access, what I can access? z.w. What will be the value of z.w? 10. No, b1 I am saying. This is b. This b1 is 10. z.b means, w means 10. z.h 20. z.d 30. Even in fact I can call the volume method also. So this client code I'll write now, this side I'll write. Yeah, this same, see here, same now. There's no difference. z.w, z.h, z.d, perfectly valid code. Understood? Or you could have written it like this also. One more way is, yeah, like this. This is one way how you work, means you give the value of b1 to z and work like this, or directly you can work, since it is static final variable, box.b1.w. This is also valid. SOP box dot b1 dot w, SOP box dot b1 dot h. This is also valid syntax. So these are the two syntaxes you'll be seeing now. Box dot b1 dot h. If you want, you can call the volume method int p is equal to box dot b1 dot volume. Same. See, when I call z dot volume, you have to accept it now in some variable int r, something like this. So instead of z dot volume, what will you tell now? Box dot b1 dot volume. That's it. Both are same. Means you either work directly like this, or give the value of b1 to one variable like this and start working. Your wish. Understood? So it's become much simple now. So this is how you can define constants and work with the constants. So when you see the code now, you start understanding this very clearly. So shall I clear all this now? This is theoretical. Let's start seeing with code only now. Directly I start coding and showing you all these things now. So only benefit is what now of enum? You can define your constants and the members in one place now. Standard. That's all. Understood? So that's why we say enum is used to define constants. One point. Other point is what? It contains list of constants. Nothing else. And one more point I gave. 3 points I gave you. Main important. What is that? It's a new user defined data type, which was introduced only for the purpose of what? Defining constants. Should I clear? You see this now? This is how you have defined the enum now? Now. So here right now there are no members. There are no members. Okay. So now let's see B, B1, B2, let's say only constants are there, nothing else is there. So now let's see this. See box Z. So I can, 1 second. I'll do one thing. I'll code and show you for you the first program. New Java project. Test enum project. Create a normal project, no issue. I'll create one package now. com.cluster. Fine. See now, this is how you write enums. Java Eclipse support will give, you will get new. What did I do? Package name, new enum. Understood? Click on that. It will give this support. I can write box. Give the enum name. Press enter. See. Understood? Till now you are writing new class, new abstract class, new interface. See, you got option like this. New class, interface, annotation also you can define. Understood? Like this, you are writing it. Okay. So if you want, while defining, if you want to define, you can see here. You can define abstract like this. Just select it here. Automatically it will become what? Abstract class. So that's the Eclipse support. Fine. So, but anyway, for writing one enum, you will do like this. See, there's one standard what we follow while coding. Let me tell you that standard. I've told you earlier also. Okay. See, whenever you write any class now, you have written many classes till now. If I write hello class, okay. If I write hello class, and I'll write now test class like this. When you're coding now, many classes you will write. When you write so many classes, always it is advisable that you keep every class in one separate file. Means class hello should be kept where? Hello.java. Class test should be kept where? Test.java. Even if it is an interface A, you should keep it in a.java. Like that, every data type you type, or every data type you type like this, it should be kept in separate Java file. So all data types in Java have what? .java file only, a source code. Whether you write class, whether you write subclass, whether you write abstract class, whether you write interface, all will have the extension of what? .java. But when you compile, finally what happens? .classes are generated. So finally we use them. So till now what we have done is, we were coding like this, many classes we are coding, and all these classes were kept in a single file. We used to keep it in single file. Like sometimes I have separated, sometimes we have kept it in single file. Now why did I do that? Because this is for our lab programs. In real world, what happens? Everything will be kept in separate file. Why? Because your classes will be very huge and you can't maintain now. So whenever you are having debugging will become very difficult. That's why we do it. There are a lot of reasons. Because see, if you keep many classes in one file, single file, like demo.java, now one Java file can contain only what? One public class. A lot of problems. It can contain only one public class. Okay. So now if I make only this as demo now, and that public should be what? This class. Okay. But now if I put it in a package now, can I use these things in some other class, some other package? No. Like that, a lot of problems we start facing. So debugging becomes problem. You cannot use your class in some other package. See now this is now I have kept all this in com.cluster package. Now can I use this in package P1 now? I cannot import A also, hello also, test also. Why? Because they are not public. So anyway, in lab and all we code like this, or while learning we do this, because for referring it becomes easier for us because they are very simple programs. But in real world, every which one data type should be written in a separate Java file, and we compile it for all. See, now the thing is now whether you keep these many classes in separate files or whether you keep it in a single file, that is irrespective. Those many .class files are generated. Whether you keep it in different files or whether you keep it in same file. Okay, it's only the convention what we follow now. If I keep it in separate file also, what happens? A.class is generated, hello.class is generated, test.class is generated, demo.class is generated. You keep everything in a single file and compile, still those many .class files are generated only. Understood? So recommended approach now, it should be what? Always you should keep it in a separate file. Same concept I show you now. Okay, enum, I have kept it in a separate Java file. Understood? You can keep it in same file also. Next program I'll show you. But I am telling, like whenever you write any data type, you write it in a separate Java file like this. Clear? So that's what I have done. So that is why it is said as what? Box.java. Notice. So again for this also what will be generated? .class only. Understood? So now let's see. You can define your constants. Now how will you define the constants? Go on defining your constants. Very simple. B, comma, B1, comma, any number, B2, comma. How many you want to define? That's it. Done. So you have your data type now. Once you have your data type, next you have to use it. So generally we end up using them in main method. So I'll use it now. Let's see. Clear? So for that I'll write new. See, this is how you write actually. New what I want? Class. So demo. And if you want main, you select this. So Eclipse gives you terrific support for coding, that's it. Yeah. So now let's declare a variable. How will I declare? Box Z. So what am I doing actually? Declaring a variable of enum type. Yes or no? You are declaring a of enum type. Yes. So this you know now. Next, how do you initialize? As I told you, for primitives you will say what? Int x is equal to 10. Yes, for primitives. For user defined type, what will you say? Hello h is equal to new hello. But for this I cannot say new. So all variables have their own style of initialization. So depending on that you should learn how to use it now. This is not possible, you will get error. This also I can put it in another way. Means you cannot use it like initialize like this, that is one way. But the other way what I can tell you is you cannot create an object of an enum. I can put it, I am phrasing one more statement. You cannot initialize like with this style, means with new, no, that is okay. But one more way what you can tell is you cannot create an object of enum. Now how do I initialize this? See, Z is equal to any constant from that enum. Any constant you give now. So what will I give? Box dot your wish B2. And let's print now. This is out. Okay, so what will I do? Value of Z is plus Z. You print. Let's see what it prints. So it will print the name of the constant it is having. Z is having what constant name? B2. Now it will print that name. Getting it now? What it is printing? B2 yes, here. Clear? It is printing that. Okay, next. I will say Z is equal to, I can initialize, re-initialize with what? Box dot B3, something like this. Valid. Now Z will contain what? B3. So first output will be B2, second output will be B3. Done? Okay. Now this line, what is this line now? Initializing the enum variable. Understood now how to declare it and how to initialize it? So depending on the data type you work, don't use on standard formula for what? All data types. Like int x is equal to new int. Wrong. You cannot use with new with what? Int. Int x is equal to new int is correct? No. You cannot use new there. Next, can I write box b is equal to 10? No, I cannot initialize like that. So every data type has its own style. So depending on that style you have to work. So this is how you have to work with enum now. Done. So next, if I want to check, I can check the equality. If you want to check the equality, you can check, or I'll do it like this. So Z, fine. I'll give this name as P. Okay. And value of P is, first I'll print it. Yeah, I have to define this data type. Yes, box P is equal to, now I'll check whether both are same or not. So I can check like this. I'll use the comparison operator. Z equals P. Both are equal. You can check for equality like this. So when you run they are not same, so obviously it's not printing if part because they are not same. If I print else, it will definitely execute. Both are not equal. Done? But the same if I change, see this, I'll make P also as what? B2 now. Now it will be same. Both are equal. Done? This is how you can check the equality. Done with code now? So as I said, it's a simple introduction. So we'll start going with more programs now. The same program, I've kept it in the first project. Done? So see this now. But here what I've done, I've kept enum and demo class in the same file. Actually it is recommended that you keep it in separate file because for us to read now, refer, it is easy. To learn we do like this. But later on professionally you start coding them in separate files. That's the convention what we follow worldwide. Understood? Worldwide. So fine. See the same thing. Can declare a reference variable of enum type box dot. Yes, I'm initializing it. Then what did I do? Printing it. I am giving a different value and I'm checking. Z contains. If I'm checking equality. I'll just give B1 now. Definitely it will be. It is not containing. But now it will. Sorry, B3 means, yeah, B1 means true, yeah, but I'm checking with B3. No, 1 second. Z is equal to, okay, 1 second. And now it will be same. It is B3, no? I was referring to this. So now Z is having value of B3. If Z is equal to box dot B3, it will be true. Means they are equal. You are checking the equality. It will become true. Z contains B3. So this is how a simple introduction I given to you for enum. Next we will start seeing more programs on enum. Simple over in the first project. Now I will go with the second project. See here, a little I have maintained. I have kept the enum in a separate file because the same enum I will be using it in many files. Because if you write a enum in one file, no, again I cannot use that in the same file. I will get error. So I have kept it in a separate file. So now with one only I can use it in all the programs now. Fine, enum box. Yes. B, B1, B2, B3, B4. Yes. Now leave that. These are constants now. B1, don't look into this part, braces. But then the different constants what I am having are B, B1, B2, B3, B4. So I am having 5 constants. Now look, I am having members. Width, height, depth. Then I am having a constructor. Forget having a constructor. You can overload constructors here. You are writing it like a normal class. Everything is same like a class. There's no difference. Only thing is you are defining the constants inside it. How you write a class? Same way you write. Okay, you're writing, see, constructors, method, everything same. There's no difference. So if you know how to write a class, writing an enum is very simple. But only thing is I'll use a keyword called as enum. And one more thing what I'm going to extra is define my constants. That's all I'll do. So defining constants and your members will happen in a same place. Now look, here what is this 1, 2, 3 means I'm invoking the first constructor, nothing else. These are arguments. Okay, now 10, 23 means again it will invoke the constructor. 3 arguments, again it will invoke this. If I send only one, see it will invoke this constructor. Which constructor? The second constructor. Done. And if I don't send any values, it will invoke the default constructor. Simple. And apart from that, I am having volume method. So if I work with B now, B will contain what values? 1, 2, 3. So you have to decide now with which object you will work. Box.B means you will work with 1, 2, 3. Box.B1 means you will work with 10, 20, 30. Box.B2 means 5, 6, 1. You decide. Understood? So this is how you define your constants. Working is very simple. See the first program. Yes, I decided to work with B3. So what do you do? Give the value of that to Z. That's it. Now value of Z is what it will print? B3 it will print. Z is containing which constant? B3, it will print that. Now I will print Z is equal to box, yes it contains it. Now if I want I can get the value. Okay, I'm working okay. Like this also you can work, 1 second. Yeah, like this also you can work, and if you want with Z.W, I can access it like that, or you can go in this syntax also. I could have accessed Z.W, I show you very shortly. Z.W, Z.H also I can, means that time Z will be giving you values from what? Which one? B3. Or if you are interested, I can get the values directly also by saying box.p1.width. All are correct. So perfect it is. See this value of, yeah, I'll print it like this, yeah. Okay, yeah. Int, some name I'll give. A is equal to Z dot. See the list you'll get. Which one you want to work with? Width. Fine. So you can work with Z like your normal object now. Understood? It is initialized. Z is of type box. And you can access all the members of box. What are the members of box now? Width, height, depth, volume and all that. Understood? Like that you can start accessing. Fine. So just if I want I can print on simple SOP I'll put. Like that you try out accessing all the members Z.width, Z.h and all that. Okay, that is fine. This syntax is also fine now. See this? So I am accessing, and also I can call the volume method. Volume I am calling from which constant? B2. Notice. So it should work like this, and fine. Now we'll see the output. And the stunning part of this is, see, we are getting the output. We expected this output. What? Value of Z is, see the output. What are you expecting? From here it starts. You are expecting the first output to be value of Z is. This is the first output what you are expecting. That's the first output. Then you are checking if Z is equal to box.3 and it should print. Yes, it should print this. Then the next output what you are expecting is value of A is. All this is correct. Value of A it prints. Then you are printing value of box 1R. I got all the values and stored it in what? PQR. So it's printing it. And also finally you are printing the volume of B2. It is 210. See, B2 is what? See the box. 5, 6, 7. So everything is correct. Fine. But what is this other output which you are seeing now? Means, say the B, B1, B2, B3, the constants. Internally what's happening? When you start using them, objects will be created. So when you are using an enum, your constants are initialized by creation of the objects implicitly. Nowhere you can see new keyword here now. Just see this. In the enum also there is no keyword in box. Anywhere I am saying new? No. This is your box. And in demo class also I am not saying anywhere new. But you can still see all the constructors getting executed here. See inside 3 parameters constructor, 3 parameters, 1 parameter, no parameter. So where is this output coming from? See the class box. I put SOP in the 3 constructors. Here I put on SOP, here I put on SOP, here I won't put. So that is 3 parameter constructor, this is 1 parameter constructor, this is no parameter constructor, and accordingly it has executed. So what it has executed? 3 times 3 parameters constructor, 1 time 1 parameter, 1 time no parameter. So 5, totally 5 times the constructor is executed. Why? Because in box class there are 5 constants. In box class there are 5, B is on constant, B1 is on constant, B2 is on constant, B3 and B4. Understood? Now this constant, when it was getting created, or object was getting created, it called the first one, because matching has specified 3 arguments, so it will invoke this constructor. So this constant also object, when it was getting created, it was invoking this constructor. Second, B2 also this one, but B3 was invoking this constructor, and B4 was invoking this particular constructor. So automatically it will be created. But when are these objects getting created? That might be your next question. Very simple. Let's see this. For all this little R&D you have to do. See, first I'll only declare a variable. I'll comment everything. I'll comment the whole thing. I'll just declare a variable. Box Z. Let's see. Run the program and see it now. Are the constructors getting executed? No. Nothing. No output only. Fine. Next, what I'll do? I'll just remove this. Comment and put it here. 1 line below I'll do. So I'm trying to initialize B3 with Z. Now see what happens. Yes, all the constructors get executed. Understood? So they are ready now. Once you start using any constants you try to use, finished. All objects will be created, it will be ready for usage. I just gave the value, still I have not used what? Z. I just initialized it. But you are using B3 now. That's why all the objects get created. All the constructors are getting executed. Now it is ready for usage. It's not that when you require it, it will get initialized. Understood? It's not that when you require it, B2 will be initialized, B1 will be initialized. All are ready for initialized now. So which one you want to use? Box.B1, fine. Box.B2, fine. So I'm using here. In the program you can see, here I'm using what? Box.B3. Fine, it is already ready. Here I used B1. Already ready. Here I'm using what? B2. Fine, already ready. You don't have to worry now. When was the constructor executed? Beginning itself. When I'm trying to use it, the objects are not getting created. Beginning only all are ready, and it is ready for usage. You can use it directly. Are you clear with this now? This is how you can design your enum now. And we are defining constants. So very powerful. And here, one thing what you have to understand, in your enum, whatever constant you see, it will be of the same type. Means B is a constant of box type. Like earlier, how are you defining constants? In class hello, you have to identify X is of type int, Y is of type int, B1 is of type box. You have to go on identifying individually. But here what's happening? All are of same type. In which enum you define, it is of the same type. You cannot add a enum of different type now. So your constants are well known now. All are going to be of type box only. Understood? So that is the beauty now. That is type safety. You cannot define another type of constant here. Understood? Fine. So this is one program. More programs we'll see now. The next program. But I'm using the same enum now. Which one? Box only? Yes. See now. Again, little more things you have to understand. For this, your understanding library is very important. Okay. See, in Java, every class is a subclass of which one? Object. Any class, string buffer class, any class you take in Java, directly or indirectly. Indirectly means what? Long inheritance tree will be there. Finally, the superclass of all classes will be object. Understood? So that is how Java has been designed. Why? Because class object will use some common functionality to all the classes. Understood? So leave that part now. Next, see here, every enum what you declare by default will be subclass of something called as a class called as enum. And this enum is present in the package called as java.lang.enum. Means it's present in lang package. Every enum you define by default implicitly. See, when I write class hello, by default it will extend what? Object. Any class you write in Java will extend class object. Object is a library. It's in the package, Java library. Understood? So here what is happening? Every class in every enum is by default extending what? Class called as enum. And in this class there are some methods now, which you should know. Understood? Few methods now. So one method is called as values, other one is called as values of, then you got ordinal, then you got compare to, then you got equals, okay, then you got like this you got all the methods here. Some methods are there, just I listed few. So enum box is extending now this one now, and again this enum extends, the story continues, object. This hierarchy never forget. Understood? So till now you work with the members of which one? Here, width, height, depth and all that. But now means if I write an enum like this, box z is equal to box dot b2. So what will happen now? I can call only what? Z dot width, height, depth, volume, only these members. But now I can call even the superclass members. Which one? Z dot values, values of, all I can call. Values I can call, because it's coming from what? Enum class. Okay, this is a different class, it's your normal class. Understood? In Java we have got class data type now, it's of that type. So this is extending. So by default it will be something like this internally. Even though I am not doing it, any enum you write in Java, it is extending enum. Understood? So this is how your enum is now. What is your enum having? B with constructors, you can write it. B, B1, B2 is there. You are having int width, int height, int depth, constructors are there. Getting it now? This is how it is now. So let's see how to work with these methods now. Understood? So these are very important methods. Now what does values method do? Question. Okay, it will give you all the constants, list of all the constants. The return type of values is, it will give you the list of all the constants. So let's see it with program only. First I'll be going step by step. I'll go. First I'll go with values. Yeah, look at that. Return type is what? Array of box. Because all are of box type now. All the constants are of type what? Box. So obviously it will be an array of box now. That's it. And I can use it. One by one I can use it. So I'll iterate and print it for you. Just see this output. I'm using the enhanced for loop. Done? So constructors are executed, leave that. But what is this iterator printing? Huh? It's printing one by one. See here, B, B1, all the constants it's printing. One by one it will get the constant. B is on constant there, B1 is on constant, B2 is on constant. It's printing like that. Clear? Because we are iterating Z. The first Z will be given to B, but B is of type what? B, yeah. But first one is of type B only, second one will be B1, third one will be B2, like that it will go on printing now. Are you clear this? So that's what you saw. It's 4 constants only. Fine. Now here you can write it in 2-3 lines like this, or you can go with a simplified approach also. See this. Here I declared one variable of type box. No need. Directly you can use the enhanced for loop like this also. What? Box dot values. Okay, and you can start first, means here automatically this code will be replaced with what? The array internally. Understood? Obviously then the first value will be returned and you are using the first one. Simple way. Here I am wasting one z, no variable. Here I am not wasting it. Both are correct. So just see this. Same output, no difference. At the end of the day, which method I showed you? Values. So values will give you what? List of all the constants. Understood? Okay. Sometimes you will be interested to work with a specific constant. So that is when I'll show you the next method now, value of. Okay, so there is no constant called as box 3, B3 is there, sorry. So now I want to work with the specific constant. So that time you call value of method. So now we will work with B3 only. So that's the difference. Are you clear? Values will give you a list of all the constants. Check out the comment here. Values will give the list of all the constants. Value of will give the specified constant. That's the difference between these two. So now B contains, let's see the last output now. I have enabled B contains B3. Sorry, E contains. E, just change it. E contains B3. Done? Fine. So this is the second program now, or the next program. Okay. So here what did you learn? We are learning the different methods present in what? Enum class. Values over, values of over. Okay, next we'll go with ordinal method. See, what will ordinal do? It will give you the ordinal value, we say. Ordinal value means the position. Means when you write an enum, when you write an enum like this, you'll be having your constants B, B1, B2, B3, B4. You'll be having your constants. But all constants are identified by a position here. Understood? Index. So this, the position of B is 0. It starts from 0 here also. Okay, the position of B1 is 1, B2 is 2, 3, 4. This is the position or index we can say. So if you want the position of any constant, call the ordinal method. Simple. So now see, I am iterating. So you'll get the first one, and the first one value will be what? 0. So means it will print B and 0. Then it will print B1 and 1. Next constant, next position. See this output. Understood. So it's printing once again. I'll bring more clarity there. I'll put on tab. See, what is the index of B? 0. What is the index of B1? 1. What is the index of B2? 2. So like that. Means it's not that while iterating only you have to use this. I'll show you more better way. Okay, box dot values. So one by one it will iterate and print its position or the index or the ordinal value. Technically it is called as ordinal value. Fine. See, let's open the first program, the test project which I showed you, or here somewhere. Okay. Yeah, see here. I'll print. P is there now. The test project. I'm just showing how to print the. In the test project, I opened. See this. I'll print. Int y is equal to p dot ordinal. Getting it now? So ordinal or position, you can write simple word, position of ordinal value of B2 is plus what? Y. Simple. There I used it while iterating. Like that, if you want, you can find the ordinal value. What is the ordinal value? You can print like this. It prints is 2. Have used some space here? Yes. Ordinal value of B2 is 2. Like that. Fine. So we'll come back to our previous program. Yes, we finished with ordinal. Any questions here? No, it only gives you the position. Next. Sometimes that position is okay, but you want to, I'll comment, compare the positions. Okay, which one is first? Means you'll be just having constants. How do you know whether B2 is first or B3 is first? Here I'm giving some name like B, B1, B2, B3, fine. Sometimes there will be some odd names. So you want to find out which constant is first or which constant is next, means which is coming before or after. So all you have to do is call the comparative method. All you have to do is call the comparative method. And I'm just showing you all the methods now. So I'm calling here, see here, I have declared B1, I have given it to Z1, B4 I have given it to a variable Z4. Now Z1 comes before Z4, no? Yes or no? Z1 is going to come before Z4. So it will be a negative value. Understood? Means it is first. Means that time you have to understand Z1 is before Z4. If it is positive, it is after. Means it's, if you take the position of Z1 now, it is before Z4. Now positive means Z4 is after. If it is 0, they are same. Means both the position is same. Simple. See this output. Yeah, see it's giving -3, 3 and 0. But don't bother with that -3 plus 3 and all. You should understand it is positive value, negative value, 0. What do you mean by positive value, negative value, 0? Means here, means that -3, 3. I compared Z1 with Z4. But what is the position? Z1 is first position, Z4 is fourth position. So the difference it is giving you. But we are not interested in that difference. We are interested in positive value, negative value, 0 value. Just I'll show you, see that. So here what I'll do, B4, instead of B4 I'll change it to B2. The variable name is same, which one? B4, Z4, but Z4 is now having what? B2. So this time what will be the -1, +1, 0. So it is giving the difference, but don't worry what is the difference and all, that we are not interested. We are only interested in positive value, negative value and 0 value. Just I showed you the output, because if you are thinking what is 3, 2 and all, for that clarity purpose I just told you. So that's how you can compare the positions. So why do you use compare to method now? See, I have commented here very clearly. Notice compare to method is used to compare the ordinal value or position of the constant in the list. Clear? It is neatly commented. Note it down, because these are all very important interview questions. Or they'll ask you how do you compare, which one is whose position is first, second and all that. Call that compare to method. So this is done now. Next, you will check the equals, equality. I already showed you equality. Yeah, you can do it in 2 ways. You can check for equality of enum using what? Equals method also, or comparison operator also, both. Understood? Both you can do, or comparison operator, both are correct. Preferred approach is comparison operator, not equals. And where is equals method coming from now? Superclass object. Understood now? Equals method is obviously coming from where? Class object. But both are correct now. See, I am checking z dot equals of box dot b3 by using what? Equals method. Here I am using it with, so obviously both will be true only. Yes, z contains b3, both are correct. Z contains, sorry, box 3 I have written b3, here it will contain b3, correct only. Understood? Fine. So that we have completed how many methods now? Values, value of ordinal, compare to, equals. Done? Fine. So I think this completes almost all everything about enum. Okay. I think all projects are now. Yeah. So let's summarize it now from the interview point of view. Okay. Definitely ask now for interviews. Yes. Values will give you what? List of constants. Value of gives you a specified constant. And then ordinal, positional value or ordinal value. Positional value or index or ordinal value. Anything you can say. Technically it is called as ordinal value. Then next, compare to. Compares the position of the constants. Then equals or comparison operator, anyone you can use, is used for checking equality. Checks equality of two enums. Checks equality of two enums. Getting it? Checks equality of two enums. So all these methods you can see, and yeah, this is what is very important from interview point of view. Clear? Okay. So we'll see on final last example with enum, and that completes enum. Just here nothing is there, only in the last program what we are saying, the worldwide standard followed for defining a enum. Worldwide standard, that's it, means the convention. Okay, means how do you define constants? We'll never define it as B, B1, B2, B3 and all that. There's some conventions we follow. Let's see it. See, generally what is the convention followed for defining constants in Java? Caps. If you want to define a class, first word, first letter will be caps, like class string, S is caps. For methods, means you know camel casing, no? For class, we go with string, second word, first letter, caps. This is the convention we follow for class names. Same convention for what? Abstract class, subclass, interface. Classes will always be written like, any data type will be written like this. Even your enum also. If I write enum box, B will be caps. That's first convention. Understood? Supposingly, now next, if this is with class, then if I have methods like example, if it's string, again I'll go with camel casing only. The convention what you follow is first letter is small, then ignore, second word first letter caps. This is camel casing, how you follow. Now let's see how you define constants in a, you write a enum like this, but defining constants is also important. So always constants are defined with caps. And if a constant is having two or more words, we use underscore. If a constant is having two or more words, we use underscore. That convention I'll show you now. All you know about that, now only I'm showing you the conventions followed now, nothing else here. So that convention will be there in the third project. You can see this. Here I got an enum by name apple. That's it. Enum by name apple. A is caps, mandatory convention. Understood? Fine. Now these are the constants now. Jonathan is on name. Means it's on. Yeah, fine, but it's on. You know, there's so many varieties, no. Jonathan is on variety, and it comes from England, something like that. Understood? So then Golden Dale, it's one more variety. It comes from Ireland. Red Dale, India, something like that. Winesap. So many are there. Fine. Now what I'm actually trying to do, invoke the constructor, and in here I'm having the variables, int, string, and if I want I can have a static variable also. Now why will I go for a static variable? When the same value is needed by all the objects. Now all apples are red in color. So what I'll do? Static string color is equal to red. But that you see the program in that way also. But see the program in from Java point of view. From Java point of view, I'm trying to say here, in your enum, you can write instance variables, static block, instance block. That is also I'm giving you one more information. So these are all concept based examples, not output based examples. Understood? So never see any program of cluster from what? Output point of view. They contain concepts. See there. So I can have methods, segregator methods. Why? Because in case if I don't make this as private, I can modify the value now. So if you want, you can make them as private and provide what? Only getter method. Don't provide setter. Setter can change. So that's how you can decide what you want, you do it. And very important equation, I can override toString method here also. You can override toString method in enum also, because it's a subclass of enum, and enum is a subclass of class object. You can override it. Valid code. Clear? Are you clear with this now? I think it's very simple now. And what is the convention? Now see all caps. No B, B1, no ordinal will become important. Yes or no? Ordinal now becomes important. No, I want to find out now. Position of what? Golden Dale. How will you do now? So apple dot golden Dale dot ordinal. Now you want to compare. When it is B, B1, B2, that is for learning purpose I did. But later on your constants will be like this. And when you use it for coding, see this is how you'll be seeing it. Apple AP is a variable. AP is a variable of type apple, apple dot golden Dale. Simple. And then AP dot price. I'm accessing the member. If you don't want to give the access, make it as private. That's your wish now. That can be done. But I'm accessing what? The instance member. Okay. And AP dot toString. I am calling the toString method. I can invoke it. If you otherwise, yeah, I'm calling it, and plus I'm calling what? Color also. Anything you can print. So let's see this output. Yes, again all the objects will be created. How many constants I'm having now? I'm defining how many constants? One, Jonathan is on brand or variety, Golden Dale, Red Dale, Winesap. It's from Finland, Portland, from Germany. 8 is the price, means in India 12 rupees or something, some price. Okay, but here you have to understand, this will be initialized on int, these strings will be initialized into country, and this is constant now. So see the output. Yes, all the objects will be created. Yes or no? I'm just working with Golden Del, but all the objects got created. And look, static block only once, same story. Yes, instance block for every object, constructor also for every object. Static block only once, but how many times constructor has got executed? And instance block 1, 2, 3, depends on the constants now, 5, 6, that depends. Clear? And finally, clear this now? Yes. The beauty of enum is one more thing, you can use it in switch case also, very powerful concept. It's unbelievable concept. Understood? So see what you are actually making your, in fact ulta, if you see internally, you are making the class as what? In switch you have to give the, this one no, which one constant variable you have to provide. Earlier you are able to provide what? Only primitives. That to which one? Int and all that. But now what you can give? If you think internally it is of class type, imagine, very powerful. Understood? So that is the beauty of enum. Even though it took too many years to invent, finally they have given an ultimate solution. Unbeatable it is. Enum is there in C++ also and all that, but it is 1,000 times better here as compared to which one? Here it is, because there in C and all now you can only hold integer values, but here your enum is of what? Class type. Your enum is class type. That is the beauty of this. So you can use it in switch case. Your AP is of type what now? Golden Del. So you can see the output. Golden Delicious is very good. Some comments are given. If it is Jonathan, it is good. Something like that. So you can see which case is getting executed now. Golden Del is very good. That's it. Understood? So this is how enums have been designed. But this convention you remember, and this what? Caps. You will be seeing it extensively. So when you use it in projects, you should be very careful. And it will be used like this. You will be seeing syntaxes like this. Means whenever you see a caps, understand that it is a constant. Understood? Follow conventions, otherwise you will not understand whether you are working with a variable, method or what, you will not understand. So Java is following strict conventions. Clear? So fine. So this completes enumerations. Understood? So I only introduced the data type. So when you start using it practically again in your projects and code and all that, that time this concepts will become very clear. Understood? See, I taught you class. For learning class you required around 10 to 15 days. Then how a class is used in programming you took around 10 to 15 days. So for understanding on a data type you will take around 10, 20, 25 days. Understood? Means first what it is, then how it is used in programming and all that. Today I have introduced only what it is. Now how it is used, why it is used, where it is used, these are the pending questions which you learn it with experience and coding. What is enum I explained to you. Where it is used, how it is used, why it is used in projects and all that, that is with experience only you can follow and understand. Done? Okay. So this is one data type now, and because of these data types only Java is very powerful. Understood? See, understand the point here. The point is Java is very powerful because of its data types like this. Very powerful data types. Apart from the power of data types, other support what you get is your portability, multi-threading support, powerful, very powerful, simple and powerful. Then exception handling, then rich library. Understood? So these are, their portability, robustness, there are plenty of reasons why Java is so successful in the market and why it can't be replaced also. If people tell it, no, one more new language will come and it will dominate, means first of all it should come. Second thing, we should be ready to learn, because we have learned so many things here. Now leaving all this, will I go there? Because I got all the support here. I got all the support, why should I depend on some other language? Understood? So these are the reasons why we developers, if you are coding in Java from past 25 years will be coding. How will you migrate to a new language? And on top of that, it should be user friendly. It should provide you all the support. And finally if it comes, fine. But when you are already getting that support, why do you want to go and learn a new language? Understood? So this is how it goes on dominating. There is no replacement for it. Understood? So that's why small projects, when they start off in different languages. But finally when they become big, the big projects will be migrated to Java language only. Understood? So this is how the story of Java stands. Very powerful it is. You cannot, how many words are used, how powerful it is. It is less only. because you're seeing it from these many classes how powerful it is. Okay, it is you have to feel it and understand how powerful Java language is. Fine. Now see what has happened here in this document. What you understand now, I have listed all the Java 5 features in a single document. Okay, I explained you static import. In fact, I explained you generic auto boxing and all that. Just for your interview purpose, I have kept what? All these things in the same place. I'll come back and explain you that, but let's straight away first finish off with enums. Then I'll come and explain you that. See, enumerations, what it is. Enumeration is a new data type and was introduced in Java 5. It is defined with a keyword called enum. Get the points now. One by one you understand. An enum is used to define constants. An enum contains a list of constants. It is used to define constants and it contains what? List of constants. All the enum constants are implicitly declared as what? Public, static, final. And in Java, an enum is similar to a class. An enum can have constructors, static, instance, same thing. It can have all these members and it can have abstract methods also, but don't go into all this level now. What I thought is more than sufficient. Too much only I thought. Fine. An enum should always have what? Private constructor, mandatory it is. Understood? Then you cannot create means you can see your code here, everywhere I'm having what? Private constructor, and on top of that you cannot create an object of that also. Understood? You cannot create an object of enum, so there is no use even if you define a constructor. Public it will give you I think error. Let's see. It gives you a compilation error only, it will not allow you. Done? So then you cannot, where was I? Yeah, you cannot create an object of enum because it has a private constructor. Yes, each enum constant, this is a very important point. It is tricky, understand it. Each enum constant is an object of its own type. Understood? Yes, we cannot create an object of enum using new keyword. Yes, but we can declare a reference variable of that enum type. All enums are subclasses of what? Enum class. Yes, enums cannot extend any class. Why? Simple, common sense now. Because multiple inheritance is not there in Java. It's already extending what? Enum class. Now how it can extend another class? But this is the point. Enums cannot, can enum extend any class? No. Why it cannot extend? It's already extending enum class and multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. And enum cannot be inherited. You cannot inherit. Understood? So these are the different points. Now difference between class and enum. Means I told you it's almost all similar to a class, but when it is so similar, then what is the difference? That also you should know. See this. Compare the points. It is a user defined data type. Class. Yes or no? What is enum? It is also user defined data type. Fine. We can declare a reference variable. Same thing there also. A class can be instantiated, but a enum cannot be instantiated. A class can have a constructor. That can also have a constructor. A class can have static variables. Yes, that can also have. You can have instance variables. Blocks means instance variables, instance block, instance method. Fine, that also can have. A class can extend, but a enum cannot extend. A class can be inherited, but a enum cannot be inherited. Some differences between class and enum now. Done? So this completes what? Enumerations. Fine. Now as I told you, see in this document I have listed all the features of Java 5 so that all the features are there in a single place for you. So that when they ask you what is the difference between Java 4 and Java 5, you can find it out, or what are the features added in Java 5 in one place only, instead of going through everywhere, in a single place only you can find all the differences. Like see the static import over, this is about generics. So if you want to learn anything about generics, say it's in a single place. For interview purpose I am telling, you'll be finding it now. Just I'll align it for you in a single page. Say this is generics, problems without generics. Then if you use generics, what happens? Done? So then next, auto boxing. What is auto boxing? Just you can revise it. I'm not explaining you now all this because I already done it for you. Go through this. Then what is enhanced for loop? It is used for easy iterations. Then var args and enumerations, just now which I explained to you. Okay, done? Yes. So finally, I show you some last part which is not required. Okay, this last part is not required, but this gives you some extra confidence in Java. Whatever I teach extra now, real life they are not that much helpful, but later on somewhere you find that very helpful. Okay, and which will give you very immense confidence. So let us see how the dot class looks when you write an enum. Dot class file. Okay, just I am showing you the source code now. See this, you have written in this demo class there is an enum now. Is how it is? Yes, I'll go to, you know how to go to that location. Yes, go to the bin folder, D drive. Yeah, so you go to enum first project, bin src will contain .java, bin com cluster box.class is there. See, there is a single file, as I keep telling you. There is only one file now, yes or no? One Java file, but two dot class has been generated. Fine. So two dot class has been generated, as I told in the beginning. I'll open box.class. Open with Kavaje. Just see. You have written it in such a simple way. Hardly for you it is what? This much. But look at here, what has happened. It has made it like this. Now it gives you clarity into the subject. Understood? It has defined all them as what? Public static final. I told you, it's implicitly. It is extending enum. So what I told you, even though it's not useful, it gives you more confidence now. Understood? So then next, it's having the constructor. Then values of method. Did I write? I didn't write. It only added the private constructor. Did I write? I didn't write. So then see, your enum is something like this here. Look, and this much of code has been generated. Value of is on method. Static block it has generated. Why it has generated that static block? To initialize B, B1, B2, B3, B4. Because the constructors were getting called now. So as soon as this is loaded into the JVM now, automatically static block gets executed and all the constraints are initialized. This is with simple enum. Okay, now what I'll do is, I'll open the other enum where we had many members, the next box. This one, see this. I'll go now, here we are in the second project. We have got one more box there. I'll go to bin, box.class. Open with Kavaje. It'll give some error like this. Just say okay, still it will open up. See this now. Now all your constructors are there. Something extra it has done, don't worry. One more, two, three constructors you have written. One volume method, values of, value of, static. Same story. So you can call value of method, values method, ordinal. Okay, it's not there, but you can work with all these members. And it is also extending enum. Understood? So this is how it is done. So, but this time your class is something like this. This time you are having constants, variables, constructors. So this enum in dot class file has become like this. Three constructors, volume method and all that. So just to give you confidence, I showed you. Okay, that's it. Generally nobody will open dot class and see it, but just for your confidence to be higher, I just showed you how it becomes. Because 5 minutes you spend also time in looking into that, you get immense knowledge into the subject. Done? So that completes, that is not important from interview point of view, just only to give you confidence I showed you. Okay, fine. So this completes enum, and with this we have completed Java 5. So tomorrow if you migrate to Java 6, only the new features you study. Just one platform I said. Tomorrow what happens? Java 6 features will come. Learn that. Java 7 features come. Update that. Previous things remain as it is. You don't have to worry now. Understood? Only you have to go on upgrading yourself and updating yourself. Don't panic. Oh, they are using Java 7, Java 8. Old things remain as it is. But to support old things, to make programming better. Understood? Why they come out with these things. Okay, see, one is they'll come with new feature. Feature means change in syntax or coding will be there. Second thing is they'll be coming with library support. Means more classes they'll add. So you should know always, classes are very easy to learn now. Now you got the grip. Only the new features what you have to learn. Done? Okay, that's it then.